Well, good evening, team. I'm so excited to start tonight's team Zoom call for you. If I've never met you before, my name is Miranda Ketz, and I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus, and you are somewhere in my downline. And again, I'm so excited that you're here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. And there we go. Okay, awesome. So tonight is all about the law of sowing and reaping with the amazing Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn is a motivational speaker. I don't think he's actually alive anymore, but when he was alive, he was amazing. He's really, really funny. He completely changed his life at the age of 25 with network marketing when he discovered that. So he made it his mission from there on out to teach other people about the amazing gift of network marketing and how to utilize that to the best of their ability. And so here for the last few weeks, I have been doing a special boot camp with Kim Wilson-Pollock, who is our Emerald upline. And it's titled 6 Weeks to Emerald or something of that nature. But basically it just involves a lot of work on myself, homework that she assigns each week to help us to grow in our business and stretch us and things like that. So if you ever get the opportunity to do a boot camp with your upline, I highly recommend it because it's wonderful. But last week, one of the items of homework that we had to do was to listen to Jim Rohn's audiobook called the Build Your Network Marketing Business. It's available on YouTube, and it's only a little over an hour long. I think it's an hour and 6 minutes total. But it's actually him teaching it. So you hear his voice. Again, like I said, he's really funny and great to listen to, but I loved it so much. And I loved a particular part of it so much that I decided to make that our Zoom call tonight. So again, I'm really excited to start this with you. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So the law of sowing and reaping is basically the law of averages when it comes to network marketing and gaining prospects and getting ambassadors to join your team and work the business and things like that. But what's so cool about it is that the law of averages can actually be found in the story of the sower from the Bible, which I think is amazing. It's biblical what we're doing here and what we go through. So even though I've been doing this for almost 2 years, for some reason when I heard it taught like this, it really made me see how I work my business completely differently. So like I said, I'm excited to share it with you. And we will start. Here we go. So the beginning of the story goes like this. The sower was super ambitious and he had excellent seed. So what does that mean exactly? This excellent seed could be anything from a great product to a business opportunity. And of course with Plexus, we have both of those things. We have our amazing Plexus life-changing products that we want to share with people. And we have an amazing business opportunity that can be used to completely change your financial future, right? And he was very, very driven. That's what the ambitious part means, as most of us are when it comes to our Plexus business. But the whole attitude of how you sow is really, really important. If you sow negatively, you will reap negativity. If you sow positively, you will reap positivity. So our attitudes really drive the end result, right? Okay, so the sower goes out to sow the seed, but the first part of the seed falls by the wayside and the birds get it. So the birds are going to get some of your seed. What does that mean exactly? So maybe I invited Susie, right, to my next event, my next Sip and See event at my house, and she absolutely promises me that she's going to be there. She's really excited about it. She can't wait to come and hear about Plexus, and so I'm really excited for her. But the event happens and there's no Susie. She's nowhere to be found, right? Susie had a great idea to come and hear about the opportunity, but others heard this possibly and said, wait a minute, you're not going to go hear about network marketing, are you? And she thought, well, I guess not. Maybe that's not a good idea. And so guess what? I have two options at this point. I can go chase the birds that took my seed, but that's never a good idea. I can't chase birds fast enough to catch them, right? It's only going to make me really angry and frustrated because I'm never going to be able to catch them. But the more important thing is that it's going to take me away from the field where I'm sowing and distract me from the future. That's the most important thing with this. Chasing birds does not work. It never, ever will. So what should I say in that moment? Isn't that interesting? That's going to become our motto phrase when stuff like this happens. Isn't that interesting? And you move on, right? We're moving on. The sower kept on sowing. This was the secret to his success. He didn't give up after the birds came and took some of his seed, right? He kept on sowing. If you keep on sowing, you will sow more than what the birds can get because there just aren't enough birds. I love hearing that. I love that. Now the seed falls on rocky ground where the soil is shallow. Now the rocky ground is not of your making because you're an ambitious sower and you have excellent seed. So you had nothing to do with this rocky ground, but it's there and it's going to happen. So this time the seeds start to grow in the shallow ground, but on the very first hot day, it withers and it dies. So what does that mean with Plexus? Well, maybe I finally get Susie going and I get her started with her Plexus business, but after the third or fourth day, somebody tells her, no, I don't want Plexus. She gets her feelings hurt and she withers and dies and she quits, okay? So the hot weather is gonna get some, and that's not of your making. And so what do you do when that happens? Isn't that interesting? Some are just not gonna stay, y'all. It's just the way it is, and it's just the nature of this thing. There's nothing that you can do about it. You keep moving on and you keep sowing. The sower kept on sowing. He's never stopping. And how did he do this after all that's happened so far? He had to discipline his disappointment. That is like the coolest saying in the world, right? And how do we do this with Plexus? How do we discipline our disappointment? Well, one is we keep taking action. Every time we positively move forward in our business, it's going to drive us to continue. But some other things that you can be doing is one, you need to be involved in some sort of personal growth and development book, okay? Whether that's reading a Jim Rohn book, a Darren Hardy book, Rita Davenport. If you don't know who to read and you need suggestions, reach out to me, reach out to your sponsor, and we'll help you with that. But I'm constantly reading a different personal growth and development book. About 80% of being successful in network marketing is doing personal growth and development. We all need it. And that's how we discipline our disappointment. We're constantly growing ourselves. Another thing that I do every single day, and I teach my team to do, is to watch a diamond documentary. You can find diamond documentaries on YouTube. They are also sent to us via email every Thursday. And basically a diamond documentary is just a really short 8 to 9 minute video that Plexus makes of all of the diamonds when they reach diamond. And it basically tells you about their journey to getting diamond. So they're very, very inspiring and they keep you motivated and excited, okay? So discipline our disappointment. It's a big one. We didn't set up the law of averages, right? So it's really not our fault that these things are happening. Now, if you're making gross errors and you're running off your seed, then obviously that is of your making, but that's very, very unlikely, right? So this is just in the normal course of what happens. All normal stuff. Now what happens next in the story of the sower? His seed falls on thorny ground. The plants start to grow, but the thorns choke it to death and it dies. So the thorns are going to get some of our seed, and that again is not of our making. So what are thorns? In the story of the Bible with the sower, it calls the thorns little cares or little distractions. Some of our seed is going to let little tiny things cheat them out of this really big opportunity. The first time that life happens, that's it. They're out. And they let life continue to pile up and get in the way of them moving on in their business, right? And again, that is not of your making, and there is nothing that you can do about this. That's just the way it is. But I have really good news. The sower kept on sowing. He did not stop. He kept sharing about the products. He keeps inviting others to events, and he keeps training his current team, right? And so finally, as a result, the seed falls on good ground. Now here's the best news of all. It always will. Always. If you keep sowing and you keep sharing a good idea long enough, it is going to fall on good people, right? That's the best news that we can get. So some of the good ground will do 30%, some will do 60%, and some will do 100%. I have tried before to get my people that do 30% to do 60, and sometimes even to get them to 100%. And it almost killed me. It's not possible. I can't do that, right? So what you need to do is let your 30% do 30 at the best of their ability. Your 60% people to do 60 at the best of their ability, and your 100% people to do 100% to the best of their ability. That's all you can do. Now, how do you find the good ground for your seed, right? You have to go through all of these processes and keep on sowing. Y'all, I have been through every single one of these multiple times in my journey with Plexus, but like the ambitious sower, I kept on sowing. I have not one time quit with Plexus in the 22 months that I have been doing this. October will be my 2-year anniversary. And that is the thing that has been the biggest, what should I say? It's what's allowed me to be successful and that's helped me get to Ruby. I've just never stopped. I kept on sowing. Even when I got the no's, even when I got the thorns, even when I got the rocky ground, I kept on sowing, right? There's just not enough birds. I love that story. So here's your action challenge now. You are going to go listen to Jim Rohn's Build Your Network Marketing Business on YouTube. Like I said, it's free. You can find it in, I think there's multiple versions of it, but it's all the same one, and it's only 1 hour and 6 minutes long. And he's great, y'all. He's so funny. I've already listened to it 2 more times since I did it the first time last week because I've enjoyed it so much. And you learn something different every time you watch it, or not watch it, but every time you listen to it, right? So like I said, it's only 1 hour and 6 minutes long. The first time I listened to it, I did it while I was doing the chores of my house. You could do it while you're driving to work, different things like that. So I encourage you to listen to it. And after you listen to it, I want you to post in the comments on the team page where I post the recorded version of tonight's call with your 3 biggest takeaways and how you plan to implement them in your daily method of operation, okay? So I'm really, really excited to see your comments and what you got out of this. If you didn't get to hear the whole Zoom call, like I said, it'll be recorded. I highly recommend that you go back and listen to it from the beginning. And I can't wait to see y'all's thoughts. So I'm really excited. And that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming. And I can't wait to see you all next week. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye.